Today's video is about 10 of the most significant arms control treaties. The Partial Test Ban Treaty, also known as Limited Test Ban Treaty, was signed on 5th August 1963 in Moscow and officially entered into force on 10th October 1963. It prohibits nuclear explosions in the atmosphere, outer space, and underwater while allowing underground testing. It was initiated to reduce radioactive fallout. Outer Space Treaty was signed on 27th January 1967. It prohibits the stationing of weapons of mass destruction in outer space or on celestial bodies like the moon. It established that space should be used for peaceful purposes only. Non-Proliferation Treaty was signed on 1st July 1968 to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons and technology, promote cooperation in the peaceful use of nuclear energy, and further the goal of disarmament. It is the cornerstone of the global non-proliferation regime. India is not a signatory to the NPT. Biological Weapons Convention was signed on 10th April 1972. It is the first multilateral disarmament treaty to ban an entire category of weapons of mass destruction. It prohibits the development, production, acquisition, transfer, stockpiling, and use of biological and toxin weapons. Strategic Arms Limitation Stock, or SALT 1, was signed on 26th May 1972. It was signed between the US and USSR to freeze the number of strategic ballistic missile launchers at existing levels. It led to anti-ballistic missile treaty and marked the beginning of the detente era during the Cold War. The Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, or INF Treaty, was a 1987 arms control agreement between the US and Soviet Union banning ground-launched missiles and leading to the destruction of over 2,600 missiles. It was officially signed on December 8, 1987 by Ronald Reagan of US and Mikhail Gorbachev of Soviet Union. Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty 1, or START 1, was signed on 31st July 1991. It is a bilateral treaty between the US and the Soviet Union on the reduction and limitation of strategic offensive arms. It led to the largest and most complex arms control treaty in history. Chemical Weapons Convention was signed on 13th January 1993. It prohibits the development, production, stockpiling, and use of chemical weapons and on their destruction. Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, or CTBT, was signed on 24 September 1996. Its purpose is to ban all nuclear explosions for both civilian and military purposes in all environment. New START Treaty was signed on 8th April 2010. It is a nuclear arms reduction treaty between the US and the Russian Federation and is currently the only major remaining nuclear arms control treaty between the two superpowers. Like, share and subscribe for more such informative videos.